Hi there, Robin here from Expert On. Today we're going to talk about the Alto ZMX122fx. Now, it's an 8-channel mixer. It features a lot of output options on it, and it does, of course, have 4 mic inputs and another 4 1/4-inch inputs for line inputs off to the side. They do double up, of course, and what we're going to talk about today is really how to use this mixer. Because I do sell a lot of them, and I've got a lot of customers out there who buy them because they're really affordable, they've got a great selection of effects, and they want to use it for karaoke. And that's a great thing because it's really easy to operate that way if that's what you're looking for. So today we're going to talk about how the mic inputs work, especially how the effects work off to the side here, the advantages of the EQs that we have on top, what all these yellow buttons are going to be used for, and how to set up the levels with the main out, and how the control panel, so the control room and the monitor works. So that's what we're going to be talking about on today's video. What I've already done is I've taken the time to include 2 microphones in the package already installed. I've also added in a 2 1/4-inch to 3.5 cable, which I have attached to my phone right here. We'll talk about the options of different ways of plugging things in here. And we've also taken it and we've hooked it up to a JBL monitor, which is the 305. Now we have headphones on top, but I don't think we really need to put the headphones on today. But I do have them plugged in on top to demonstrate where that's going to go. So what we'll do is we'll start with one line and then we'll cover everything across the board. So to set up this machine, take it out of the box, make sure all the knobs are turned down to 0. Always a good way to start. Then you look at your section at the middle, which is the blue, and that's our EQ. Start with that at 12 o'clock. It's a good way to start. You can always adjust that a little bit more. Then you've got to have your microphone. Now, if you have a microphone that has a 1/4-inch jack on it, so that would be a 1/4-inch jack. If you have a microphone like that, plugging that into here is not going to work. These are not for mics. They say line input, so that's everything else but a microphone is going to go into there. So what we're using this for is to plug into our speaker, which we can either plug in through the main, which is located right up on top here, or we can use it in the control room, which is here as well. We can also, as a third option, plug it in right where it says monitor input, monitor 1. So if we want to place a monitor in front of the TV, if we're using it for karaoke, that would be a good way to plug it in because that'll give you control on the actual mixing board separately from the main speakers. You could also do the same effect by plugging it into the control room. It allows you to have 2 different volume levels, the volume that's going to be played for everybody else and the volume that's going to be played just for you in front of the TV. Now, how do we adjust this? Well, we've got a red knob on top, which is gain control, and then at the very bottom, we've got a level control. Now, a lot of people get these mixed up. It's pretty simple. This is how big the actual microphone is going to get, how strong the microphone, so how close or how far away I have to use it. The smaller the room, the closer you are to the speakers, the lower you're going to want that gain set, so this way you're not going to get as much feedback as you normally would by turning that up really loud and turning this down. So, 2 ways again. This is how sensitive the microphone is going to be, and this is how loud the microphone is going to be. Now, when I say loud, this is going to be in reference to our main out at the very end. So what you want to do is you want to find yourself a comfortable place for overall sound. So let's just get this on a little bit here and get ourselves working. So there we are. So we have a volume there, and we can control that volume from here. Now, I'm adjusting this against my other microphone inputs that I may have, and the music I may have plugged in as well. So if I want to play the music, in this case I've got it plugged into my phone. We'll turn that on and I'll dial this in. 200. I'm looking for the right volume level. Have my microphone on, and now I'm trying to find an adjusted balance between the two. So I may have the microphone a little bit lower, the music a little bit higher, or vice versa. It depends on the music itself. So once I've balanced those two out, now I just have to turn up and down the volume. That'll be proportionate. Now, we're going to want to have effects. That's where these 2 big knobs right here come into play. Now, these 2 knobs here go from 1 to 16, but they're not necessarily in order of the least amount to the most. So there is an actual button here. So if I turn this over just a little bit, There's a variation, which is intensity. That's going to happen here. And then there's an actual preset from 1 to 16. Now they also do list them all here. But the most important thing is I've made a choice. How do I get that to come out of the microphone? Because right now I have nothing happening on my microphone at all. There's no sound. Why? Because I haven't turned up the effects yet. So that's going to be the yellow buttons. So when we look at the unit and we look at the yellow button here, I'm going to have to decide how much effects do I want for this microphone that I'm on. So I happen to be on channel number 1 right here. And I'm going to dial that up. So the first one says monitor, the second one says effects. So I'm going to turn that up to 12 o'clock. Now, because I already have this knob at the very end, which is part of my effects control output, so for the monitor and for the actual effects. So the one that says effects, we're looking for the one that says to main. I'm plugged into my main out, so the top button references the main. So now I have half the effects, all the effects for volume, and I can turn it down. Now, as I bring this in, it's going to be proportionate to the overall volume, and then again against everybody else. So I do have a microphone right here plugged in. Now this mic happens to be plugged into number 2. So I've got a number 2, and I can make the effects much more dramatic on number 2. Just by doing that, I've made it louder, so now it's proportionally 100% equal to my main level control. So 100% here, 50% there, that means I get 50% perfect match on the effects with my gain. Now if I go over here, I can turn that down a little bit by turning this main, and now what I have is my first mic is set at 50%, my second mic is set at 100% for effects. So here we are with the first mic at only 50% effects, and then the second mic at 100% effects. So that's how we proportionally control the two separately. So there we go. That's how we get our effects. So remember, we do have to, if we're not sure, start off by bringing these knobs up to 12 o'clock. The one that counts is going to be the second one, not the first one. The second one says effects. Then we're going to want to make sure that we choose effects. If we're not sure which one we want yet, bring them both down to 6 o'clock, which will set them at 9 and 9. Then come over to your auxiliary and decide, am I plugged into my main mix or to my control room? And that'll be right here. Auxiliary for the main out is located at the top. Auxiliary for the control room is located just below that. And then you turn up the main volume and you're going to be all set with that. Okay, so we've wrapped up the fact that we now have a good idea on the knobs. The blue ones are going to be our EQ. That's going to be our high, our mids, our lows. And it's pretty straightforward after that. It's a repeat across the whole board. Same thing with the gains. It's repeated across the whole board. Now, I've taken the choice to plug in my phone, which could be anything that you have, in through the 1/4-inch cables on top. Now, at the end of the day, you definitely want to be using this type of connection. Now, you could buy some 1/4-inch to RCAs, which basically allow you to use a standard auxiliary cable that you may have, and just plug those in to there, just like so. There is 2 of them on the table. And then you can take these guys and plug them into here. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, why not use the RCAs that are located on the board? Because that's only a auxiliary in and out. And that means that all your control, if I took these off of here and I put them on the input here, I lose all the abilities of being able to EQ my music, and I'm only going to have one separate control over here, one knob that says auxiliary in, and that's going to make reference to this guy. So yes, I've plugged it in. No, I didn't have to buy adapters, but I've lost all my abilities to control that input from that connection point. So can you use it? Absolutely, it's usable. But if you actually want to take advantage of your board's EQ, then you're going to want to get yourself over here. Now you could buy, depending on where you're shopping, we'll have links for these down below. So this is a good opportunity to say, if you haven't subscribed, now's a good time. Just hit that button. And we'll also have links for what these cables are called and where they're going to be available to buy to make it easier for you in the States and in Canada. So we'll have that there. And we'll also make sure we note a link for these adapters. So these are 1/4 inch to RCA adapters. This is a straight up dual quarter, so 2 channels. And at the other end, we'll unplug it from the phone. It's going to be a 3.5 in this case. So we've got a stereo connection here because it's coming off the headphone jack, which would also be a kind of a balanced connection. And then we're going to 2 individual channels, which would be mono or unbalanced for the mixing board. And we'll take note of that down there below for you as well. So another one we unplug is if we unplug here, the microphone. Now, you're definitely going to want to have a 3-pin XLR connection for your microphone. Again, like I noted before, these are all line inputs. Everything that's 1/4 inch is a line input, and that's everything but your microphones. So that's what's going to happen here. People do ask me, can I plug a guitar into it? There's no high Z button on it, and that's the most common used terminology, or a pad button, so this way we can do it. And what we really want to do is get ourselves in through a 1/4 inch, but at the same sensitivity level as the microphone input. So you could buy an adapter or a DI box. That'll get you into the unit. Again, you need to have your guitars plugged in on top. So again, adapter, or better yet, get a DI box. They're less than 20 bucks in the States, less than 25 bucks in Canada, starting at pretty good price points there. So that pretty much covers it. Remember, just find a starting volume level so you can work on it. Adjust your levels between your microphone and your music input, and then all you'll have to do after that is turn it up and down. The gains on top are not to make it louder, they're to make it more sensitive. That's another key thing to remember. And when using the effects, make sure that you turn up your effects button, which is the second row of buttons, up to 12 o'clock, and turn the effects down to 6 o'clock. This will certainly get you started. And then over here, if you're not sure if you've used the main or the control room, just turn both of these up to 12, and that'll get you at least started, that's for sure. So there you go. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Always happy to help out. Again, all the links for this, plus some descriptions on some of the other products, like the Shure microphones we've had on the table, and the JBL speaker, will be linked down below as well. This has been the Alto ZMX122fx. If you're looking for something with a USB attachment, we'll also have a new video for the Alesis. You may want to take a look at that as well. It's Multimix 8. That'll offer similar features to this, plus USB. So if you're looking for a great value machine, you plan on not plugging it in or needing USB connection to your computer, this is probably a great way to go, especially if you're looking for a karaoke mixer. You can use it for a whole ton of other things, but I thought that's what we talked about today when it came to this mixer. So there you go. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.